And this game, like, the original game I hold very high. Maybe a little bit too high up on a pedestal. And even with that, I'm not an expert on it. You know, it was one of those games that came into my life during a really dark time. And in some ways I've related to the characters in that, or some of the characters. More specifically, James and Eddie. Like, I've already talked about this, and I won't go into, like, you know, any more detail than I did with the last part of the OG playthrough that I did. But with James's story, I relate to... I mean, I'll probably talk about this again once it gets to the deeper parts. But, like, basically the relationship between James and Mary. And the trials and tribulations that they go through, the implications that that game brought, especially near the end when you find out everything. And even to this day, that game still touches me in many ways. Playing through this remake, it kind of feels like I'm going down memory lane, but like through a different lens. Hey, I think this is... Aha, the bowling alley. Let's take a pit stop here. And say we're walking down memory lane. It really is a shame that this wasn't where the infamous cutscene was with the... This town is full of monsters. Ha 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 ha! Let's see, does James say something similar? Oh.
This town's full of monsters. Who could just sit here and eat pizza?
There we are. Yeah. I don't have any complaints. It was one of those things that was going to happen later on in the game. I had a weird feeling that they weren't going to let that slide. I'm relatively satisfied with that. Had a feeling. Had a feeling. You know, looking at Eddie, there's definitely a theme with him with food. I mean, at the theater, we saw him eating a massive bucket of ice cream as well, with his bare hands. Which is a grotesque sight. I would say it was a grotesque sight. Like, I relate to Eddie because I've struggled with my weight and being picked on a lot in my earlier years, throughout my pretty much like through my high school years. I was picked on, not always for my weight, but also just for my awkward mannerisms and just not understanding how to interact with people. I wasn't a complete loner, but like I definitely had like issues that I didn't understand at that time. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I was ever, like, in the same kind of mindset that Eddie found himself in. Which, I mean, once we get through the Historical Society, once we come back to this game, whenever I play this game again, which I don't know when. Either it's gonna be next weekend or sometime during this week. I'm not sure. But, yeah. I'm really curious how they're going to show Eddie's descent into madness, because that's going to be interesting. You know, I feel like every character in this game, maybe besides Maria, has something empathetic with their reasoning for why they're in the town. That doesn't mean that every character is good, because they all have something in common that gets revealed later on in the game. fucking stick drift. I mean, the reason why I say Maria is not exactly an empathetic character is because she is... Okay, spoiler alert. She is quite literally the embodiment of James's, desire. What he wanted to see in Mary, basically. And it's, left ambiguous whether or not she is a figment of his imagination, or, you know, a part of Silent Hill that's fucking with him, or if she's a real person. So, yep. That's like the only spoiler I'm really giving here. Just like saying that off the top of my head, kind of, you know, rambling. But, yeah. You know, Angela's story is fucking tragic. Like, out of all the characters in this game, her story is the saddest. And it's basically tying to her family life. Which, of course, more things get revealed later on. But it appears we have reached the historical society, folks. And considering this is a little bit over 5 hours long now. Man, it's actually been a while since I've had a stream that's lasted this long. So, yeah. I got stuff I gotta do. Gotta toss in a load of laundry, go to sleep, wake up, put it in the dryer, get ready for work, and then carry on with my day. So with that said, let's save and call it a night.